Hey guys, Greg Fisher here. Just finished the 100-hour service on the Yamaha SHO 250. Going to give you a quick overview just to help some guys out. Had some guys ask questions about the difficulty of it versus the cost of taking it to a dealer. You can do it yourself. Keep track of your records, your invoices, your receipts. I get all my parts from PartsVu. They make nice kits for the 20-hour service and the 100-hour. You can get the 100-hour service kit with or without the impeller. Right now I got about a month and a half left here in Ohio, and I'm going to change my impeller this winter. So for today, we started out by changing the fuel water separator down inside of here. I will jack the front of the boat up and run a little bit of water in the bottom of the hull with the drain plug out, just for any gas that's spilled down in there. It's a simple spin-on filter. I use an old style jointed oil filter wrench. It does just fine with it. Kit comes with spark plugs on the Yamaha SHO. Pop off this cover. You can get to all 6 cylinders in here pretty easily. Well, easy enough. You've got 6 coil packs, one on each cylinder. 10mm bolt right there. Pop that bolt out. This pulls straight out. You've got about 6 inches of depth into the plug. 5/8 spark plug socket with a 6-inch extension on it does just fine. You want to have some sort of needle nose pliers or something, and if the plug falls out of the socket, you can reach in there and get it. Pretty simple on that end. Changing the oil, you got the oil filter up here. Auto parts store sells a nice little cup style filter, goes right over top of it. These are the same size as automotive filters. Get one, I think they're $9.95 or something like that, if that much. Oil filter dipstick, and the fill cap up here. There is roughly about 7 quarts of oil in this motor. You can change it by going through the dipstick. I've got a 12-volt pump, oil extraction pump, that I bought off of Amazon for $19.95, I think. It does really good for getting the bulk of the oil out, but you're still going to have a little bit left in the crankcase. Hooks right up to 12 volts. You can go right in off your battery, stick the hose down in and pump it into a container. To get to the Gearcase drain plug, you want to take out Allen screws here, one up under here, and then inside here you've got 4 Phillips bit screws that hold the top of the cover. Get those all loose. Pop these covers a little bit forward. There's a rubber nub back in here that this cover fits on. Other than that, they come off pretty easy. Be aware, when you take this drain plug out, if you haven't drained some of the oil out of this thing, it's going to shoot a stream out about this far. Yamaha's got a little bit of a bad design there. Have something down on the ground, have something down on the floor of your garage. If not, you are going to make a mess. Been there and done that. The other thing that comes with the kit is a fuel filter for in here. Got a 10mm bolt up here, a 10mm bolt down here. You can get into this filter casing, then the plastic casing. There is a sensor attached to it. You can unhook this wire and slide this wire out here, because as you thread this off, you're going to twist this wire up, and then you're going to have to kind of pre-twist it to put it back on if you do not unhook it. Plastic filter housing comes down off. Small cartridge filter inside of it. Got a hole in the top that slides up on a tube inside of the housing. There again, it's not a large challenge. I do mine out in the driveway at the house. I will use the freshwater flush port to warm the motor up. I'm not going to run it excessively long on it, but just to get the engine itself and the oil warmed up for draining, I'll use it. Lower unit wise, you've got the top vent plug up here. Inside of your water pickup screen area, there's an Allen bolt through here. That one bolt will take both sides and let them spread apart and come off, and your drain plug is inside of there. When I fill the motor up, I will use a level on the motor to get it level to check the oil. Once you get everything changed, you put the fresh oil in it. You're going to want to let it start up and run for a couple minutes to circulate the oil. Shut it off, and then check your oil after everything drains, just like we've done in cars for years. Capacity with the oil filter change is about 7 quarts. I leave it a little bit short. I'll put 6.5 quarts in it. I'm gonna start it up, run it, let it settle, and recheck it. Once you're done with all that, recheck, top it off, anything that you need. Always make sure that the motor's level. Last part of the service is greasing the motor. You've got several grease fittings on through here, back inside here in the lower unit. Make sure everything's greased up. Lubricate up your cables, check for any loose wires. Other than that, it's a fairly easy change. I give myself a half a day. I'm in no hurry when I do it. It's something else that I just got nothing going on. And that's about it. 20 and 100 hour service on the SHO is easy. You can save yourself money, but make sure that you do keep your receipts. Tool wise, 5/8 spark plug socket, 6-inch extension, 3/8 ratchet. My plug gap, always check the plug gaps when you take them out of a box. I think the gap on these were 39 to 41 thousandths. Allen wrench to get your covers off. 10mm socket for the fuel filter housing. Phillips screwdriver for the top bolts on the lower unit, or the mid unit covers. I always use Yamaha oil. I get it through PartsVu. They sell the kits. They will even run the kits on special at like 25% off, and it's a pretty good deal for everything that you get at them. Oh, and I use the hemostats here if I got to reach in and pull a plug out if it falls off. I believe it's a 9/16 strain plug in the motor. That's about it. Give yourself a couple hours and save yourself a couple $100 or more. Keep track of your records, and we'll see you on the water.